Well, howdy. Looks like you're here from my rootin, tootin, shootin rifle tutorial. Come on in.
Now, as far as the prerequisites go, you're going to want a rifle to begin shooting. For my training, I've used a 22 bolt action rifle, but any rifle will suffice here. Make sure that you have the ammunition correct for your rifle, because you can't shoot without ammunition. Make sure you have a target and a safe place to shoot, as in a range or somewhere where you won't hurt anybody, or it's a designated shooting area. And especially, make sure you have ear and eye protection, because gunshots are incredibly loud, and if you don't have ear protection, you can cause harm to your ears and hearing. And make sure you have eye protection, because it's unlikely that you'll get shot in the face, but it's mainly to protect you against brass that flies out of the rifle after you shoot, because that can fly up really high and hit you in the face, and it is very hot. So always practice safety on a range. Now, every accurate position begins with the fundamentals of the base and the stance. For the proper stance, you're going to want to have your feet about shoulder length apart and your hips parallel with your feet, so you're going to want to have a straight back to begin with. You're going to want to have a lot of pressure in the stock and in the cheek piece, which I've circled off on the right. Now, the stock is essentially what plants the rifle to you, so you're going to want to have a really firm, snug grasp on that, because if you're not firmly planted, recoil may shake the rifle and disrupt your next shot. According to Sergeant Brandon Green, USAMU service rifle team member on the Civilian Marksmanship Program's website, you want to be consistent with your head position and the pressure you put on the stock of the rifle, and without good head pressure, the rifle will move under your head during recoil. When the rifle does this, you will lose your sight alignment. So essentially, having a solid and consistent stock pressure and cheek plate pressure will ensure that your rifle doesn't move after you fired it, and it also will guarantee more stability. Okay, as far as hand and arm positioning goes, your right hand will be around the trigger with your rifle, and you're going to bring it up with that. And then you're going to take your left arm, and you're going to plant your left elbow into the left side of your rib cage really firmly, and you're going to prop up the rifle with either having your hand extended, with either having your fingers extended or in a fist motion. So the majority of the weight of the rifle is going to rest within your left elbow and within your rib cage. So you can prop it up with either your fingers extended or in a fist. So you're either going to have the weight of the rifle rest on your hand with a fist or with elongated fingers. A mistake that many people make when planting their elbow into their rib cage is that they plant it either on the side of their hip or they plant it too far down. You need to really have your left elbow tucked up in to make it as stable as possible, because the further down your elbow is, the less stable you're going to be. Now we're going to focus on the natural point of aim, which is essentially when you bring the rifle up to your face, you move your head very little when it comes to shooting. According to Serena J. of Gunpowder Magazine, it is best rather to adjust your position so the firearm points directly at the target without you having to physically move the gun, because movement can disrupt your alignment and you'd have to reset up your position all again. You're going to want to have your rifle lay nearly flat across your chest, as this will increase stability. Breathing is vital when it comes to aiming, because when you're aiming down sights, the gun will naturally sway in almost a figure 8 kind of motion. I have a crude example of that off to the right. Now, slowing your breath can help to lessen the sway and help you shoot more accurately. And according to Larry Quandall of NRA Family, the best time to control the breathing cycle is during what's called the respiratory pause. This is when you're done exhaling, and this is the best time to shoot, because when you're exhaling, your chest is contracted, so there's less movement, which means you have a more stable shot. Now, if you fail to control your breathing, you're going to end up somewhere on that figure 8 spectrum where you're very far off from the target, even though you've had to aim down sights, just because the natural sway of your breathing has caused it to go off target. Okay, and this is what the end goal should look like.